We met, I was roller skating, and I had, at that point was working in an office in Sparta, New Jersey. And he spotted me up there because where I worked was one of his dad's customers, so with the Texaco fuel company. So anyway, he knew where I worked, so he called me for a date. And so we've been married for 65 years.
Well, I started to notice these little red blotches, and I went to a dermatologist, and they put me in this little booth. I call it the what did I call that? The isolation booth. It was a little square thing with fluorescent tubes all on the sides and the ceiling and everything for about an hour.
They put him into a booth with the lights, stark naked, and he just broke out in a rash, like measles from head to toe, just covered with this rash. So they told him he had to go back in there. He said, no, I don't have to go back in there. So then Dr. Basakia saw us in Morristown, and Bill got his t-shirt off, just halfway off, and doctor says, put your shirt on. I know what your problem is. So that's when he was diagnosed with the T-cell lymphoma.
I didn't know it was something at the time. I didn't know it was something there was no cure. I was a little bit upset when I found that out, but you have to do what you have to do. So I didn't worry too much about it. And I've been doing it for 10 years. I never thought about cancer, to tell you the truth, until. A short time later, I inquired, what is this anyway, and then they give me a booklet, and I found out that it was my white blood cells are cancerous, and that's I guess the white blood cells try and eat the red cells, so that's what the problem is.
We have lunch while he's having this treatment, so it's relaxing, and he sleeps after he gets his lunch. He usually falls asleep and tries to read the newspaper but can't stay awake. So, but no pain whatsoever, so very good.
Yeah, the nurses here are really wonderful, and they take real good care of me. They're all experts on the machine, of course, and the treatment usually goes real well.
I usually pack a lunch, we bring a sandwich, a half a sandwich today, and then they make coffee for us, our birthdays, they come, they have a birthday cake for us, and it's just, they're so caring. We have to come 2 days in a row, and then we have 2.5 weeks off before we have to think about coming back again, so it's it's worked fine. It hasn't interfered with our lifestyle.
So this treatment now takes, it averages 2.5 hours, average. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's a little more, but it's not painful. The initial stick sometimes is a little bit, but nothing to worry about. Sometimes, occasionally, I don't even feel it. Some of those nurses are great with a needle, and this is a big needle. It's not like a shot needle. A few years ago, I said, I'm going to skip a treatment, see what happens, and I broke out all over my body in a rash, so I knew I don't have any choice. I've got to keep on doing it. So I used to have to come 2 days in a row every 2 weeks. Now I guess 4 or 5 years ago, I graduated to every 3 weeks, 2 days in a row. It just blows my mind that what kind of a brain could have put together something like that. It's unbelievable to separate your blood cells. They separate the white cells from the red cells from the plasma, and a little bit of my white cell stays in the machine and gets treated with a chemical and ultraviolet light, and then it's pumped back into me.
Oh, I think it's been wonderful, wonderful machine. And like I say, Bill is so relaxed through the treatment. You know, he just and he's had no new breakouts or anything. So it's really been great.